Today in the episode, Special, Man-Made Horrors of the Valley, Voice of the Wasteland, where we read your messages and choose the craft of the episode. And we begin with Workshop, the flamethrower with the perfect power score to power ratio. Do you know that we really enjoy incinerating enemy cars? Obviously you do. You might even remember the episode where we covered the actual incinerator. Ugh, those were the days. This time, at the very end of this lonesome October, we're really happy to dig out yet another trusty flamethrower. The best weapon to fight zombies, vampires, raiders. Not to mention that it's also very handy for lighting up candles in your jack-o'-lantern. The solution to most problems? The remedy. First of all, the thing deals a lot of damage, especially if you're running it with a matching cabin like the Blight, the Aggressor, or if there's no better option available, the Icebox, which is admittedly a bit funny in the context of using it with a flamethrower. Second, it can take a lot of punishment. In fact, quite a lot more than some other weapons. You can mount your remedies in the front and not worry about losing them in the very second you run into an enemy or two. Third, it has range? Nah, not really. Very limited range, in fact, but the Blight improves things a lot. Wildfire, green fire, is no joke. Also, in our case, limited range isn't that much of a disadvantage. We're planning to watch the fire show from the first row of seats anyway. Finally, the remedy? It's just hella cool. Just look at this customization kit. Oof! It's simply perfect for Halloween. Or any other day if you're in the business of burning heretics in the name of Odegon. Ut infidelis ardere inigniti sanctissima regina mater. Now a few words about the flaws of the weapon. The remedy doesn't have a lot of ammo, so you'll probably want to bring additional ammunition, which naturally greatly increases the risk that you will be the one turning into a fireworks show. Which means that you have to put a lot of thought into your armor arrangement. Another important thing is that our flamethrower has a pretty small turning angle. Yeah, the situation is not as dire as with the Draco, for example, but there will be situations when you're just a couple of degrees short of actually hitting that one pesky opponent that's doing their best to avoid mandatory BBQ time. God damn it. Obviously, there's almost always a way to work around a weakness, by employing special tactics and adjusting your playstyle in the field, or by working around it in the garage. For instance, a vehicle with our fuel-hungry flamer can really benefit from a few Syndicate wheels. They're fast and allow a lot of flexibility while repositioning, so that no one ever leaves when you try to BBQ them. You can always rely on a well-built car, even on Halloween. And now, a short commercial break.
A public message by the Ravagers of the Valley. Leave our eyes be. We only have a handful. Take some black sludge or cute hydraulic pipes instead. Limited time offer.
Speaking of well-built cars, we simply had to make the trip to the exhibition to see how the people of the valley get ready for All Hallows Eve. As it turns out, you do it with a fiery enthusiasm, with or without flamethrowers. You've released a horde of frightening mechanical beasts into the valley. And we're not talking about their looks. No, you folks are much scarier than that. We're talking about the feeling of dread and madness that these vehicles invoke with their very being. First, we have no choice but to discuss this huge car removal vehicle. Yeah, that's probably what happens when good people of the Waste start weaponizing their own lawnmowers. But wait, what's so scary about tearing vehicles in half? Well, even though the concept itself is nothing new, the way that Zabuza 8 does it is kind of special. At first, you can't help but think to yourself that it's not going to work at all, but boy are the wastes full of surprises. It works. It works! And if you see it in action, well, that's not something either of us can forget anytime soon. Then we have this, the scariest barrel in all the wastes. It's easy to underestimate it at first. It's just a vehicle with barrels, right? Wait till you see how good it is at causing pure, unadulterated terror. It's even better than hitting an enemy with explosive spears straight out of invisibility. It might not be the most effective way to deal with enemies, but damn if it's not one of the most terrifying. And that's exactly what we need. GIBRID, a big spooky thank you. Finally, let's take a look at the monstrosity built by Frostbite R. This design was definitely inspired by the teachings of the old ones, and we can prove it to you. First, the car's all about explosions and damage. In other words, pure carnage. Second, there's nothing rational about it. It defies understanding. It's almost as if its creator had a single message in mind. I don't give a shit about your meta or your rules. I'm free and dangerous. But seriously, is there anyone in the Valley today that would even consider using a car built with no regard for basic safety? Its weapons are completely exposed. There's no protection, even on the sides. The cab is also just there. And that's with a power score of around 9,000. Any person who rides this into battle is insane. Or, at least, just as terrifying as the car itself. Or maybe they're not human at all. Burn it! Burn it right now! Of course, there are many other grim tales waiting to be told, but it looks like there's enough darkness and terror in this garage already. Now let's make sure that this darkness finds a way into your garages as well. Here's a new challenge for you. Build a vehicle that you definitely wouldn't want to run into on an empty street in the middle of the night. Good luck. Oh, yeah. The tag for this one is DRTG. We'll be waiting. The first message was sent by Nacho Reggiano. They say, the heavy epic cabin selection is small. There's twice as many lights and mediums of the same rarity. How about an epic bus cabin from the Scavengers, which increases your damage dealt with up to 3 nearby allies in 100 meters or so? Greetings, survivor. Some good news for you. We can confirm that other epic heavy cabins are in the works, so keep your eyes peeled. And that's an interesting perk, by the way. We'll discuss it with the team. Thank you. The next question was sent by I Am Bree. Where's our Founders cabs? Every faction has at least 2 cabins, and the Founders are still the only faction with a single cabin. Is there anything possible for the future? Yep, we're working on a legendary cabin for that faction. Can't tell you any more at this point, though. Then we have this request sent by Busy Q. Can you guys add that one garage track from the 2021 Ravens Path event to the official SoundCloud? Hi, Busy. And sure, we try to update our SoundCloud as often as we can. Cheese Guy writes, here's a lore-related question. Will we ever see the return of Martin and his Connecty? Hi. Unfortunately, that's not likely. After their defeat, the very few remaining members of the Connecty are mostly concerned with just surviving to see another day. But sometimes we see messages like this one, sent by the Boxhead. The Connecty will rise again and the Ravens will pay for what they've done to our leaders. Marchin's dream is not dead. I will carry the helmets of our slain brethren into battle and slay the vile demons that dare to think that we are beaten. Long live Connectia! So, who knows? And now, it's the last part of the show where we go to the exhibition to find new, exciting ways to fight evil spirits. This time, we decided to go with a vehicle that is all about damage. Dollar bill, y'all. That's the type of engineering that's appreciated almost everywhere in the Valley. The only thing left then is just to find the next horde of darkspawn to put this beauty into action. Howlin' Wolf, thanks for this cool take on the timeless idea of they can't fight back if they're already dead. That's it for today. Tell us what you think in the comments below, ask us questions, and if we survive the onslaught of all things evil, we'll return with some new, crazy content in a couple of weeks. If you like what we're doing, consider subscribing, leave a like, and may you get lots of trophies in the witch hunt.